So a really exciting trailer here for the newest game in the Legend of Zelda series, Echoes of Wisdom. In this one, you play as Zelda. How good is that, Bertie?
That's very interesting, isn't it? Normally Link, but this time Zelda. So what's it about then?
Well, as we can see at the start of the trailer there, we've got an epic battle there with Link facing off against Ganondorf, or Ganon, being the pig form, I suppose. Now, normally you'd expect to see that at the end of a Zelda game, but of course this is at the start. Now, we see they're engaging in that tennis sort of combat there that they typically do. Link fells Ganon, puts him down there, but some sort of mysterious portal starts appearing just as when Link's about to save Zelda there. As you can see, there's a great big hole in the floor, Link's being drawn in and then sends an arrow out to save Zelda. What did you notice about Zelda's outfit there?
Yes, so she's encased within this crystal, which is similar to another game, isn't it?
Very similar, in fact, to what we saw happening in The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. At the end of that game, she was encased in a crystal very similar to that one, even having a rather similar outfit too. So a clear callback there, harking back to Ocarina.
Yes, of course, and the cap he's got on, she has on later on in the game, don't you?
Ah, well spotted, Bertie, indeed. So we saw Link there wearing a hood at the start of the game. That hood is rather important. You're about to see more of that. I'll skip ahead a little bit here in the trailer, and of course a bit further beyond there. Now Link falls down into that ghastly portal. Zelda is freed from her prison, presumably by Ganon at the start of the game, and then of course she starts running away from the portal. Inside that portal we can see floating chunks of rock, so I'm not entirely sure what's in there, but actually I've just spotted something there. On the right side there's like a floating island there.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes, there is, yes.
I wonder what that could be, old chap. So presumably whatever's inside that portal must be a second dimension of some kind. Maybe we'll get to go there as part of the game's events.
Maybe. Right,
so Zelda manages to escape that terrible fate there, and then we come into what is very clearly the art style of Link's Awakening Remake, the Link's Awakening Remake on Switch. This is a very similar art style to that game with those cute little trees, indeed Zelda herself, the title screen there, Echoes of Wisdom, and of course we can see there in the distance Hyrule Castle. Now this is interesting because Zelda, of course, is basically the boss of Hyrule Castle, isn't she?
Yes, she most certainly is, yes.
Yes. Now, Mr. Alnubis here is going to do some talking, so we'll skip past him. And of course, we see there the introduction of the means by which Princess Zelda will attack. So here's a first look of the kingdom, once more very much in that almost toy box style art style that we saw in Link's Awakening Remake. There's a Hyrule Castle soldier there. We can see portals have opened over the kingdom of Hyrule, leading to this strange dimension, which presumably is where Link now is. Oh no, the villager! Oh no, Link! Oh dear. So as you can see, lots of disappearing into portals going on. I suppose... Oh, wait a minute. This is important, Bertie. This is important.
Yes.
We can see Zelda here is inside a prison cell, and the door to that cell is shut. Now, has she been imprisoned in her own castle dungeon? What's going on here?
It's possible, yes. We don't know, do we?
Now, I don't know what Zelda's doing inside a prison cell, but it's safe to assume that at some point during this game, she's going to end up in jail. So, we can see there she meets this strange floating fairy thing, and that fairy, of course, gives her her means of attack in this game, which is not a sword. Oh, no. As you can see, she's wielding a staff, and as Bertie rightly pointed out there, wearing the same hood that Link was at the start of the trailer.
Interesting. So that's significant, isn't it? And I wonder if the player, Zelda in this case, can fall through these holes in the ground, these purple things.
I think that might be a game over, old chap. Possibly, I don't know.
Yes.
Now, of course, we can see that she can clone things there using this staff, which is a very interesting ability. It reminds us, of course, somewhat of the abilities Link had in Tears of the Kingdom. Not quite the same, but he could make things in that game, couldn't he, old chap? You know what I mean?
Oh, yes, he could, yes. So
Yes.
How does the attack work from his staff, then?
That's a very good question, but it seems as we go on through the trailer, she doesn't directly bonk things with her staff. She actually clones objects and whacks the said baddies with those objects.
Oh, I see.
Now, also, she can also clone water there, as you can see, which is interesting. She can actually build water blocks. That's a rather good feature, I have to say. But you'll notice, as she proceeds to go through the various levels using these blocks in a sort of puzzle-solving fashion, so very much a heavy focus on puzzles this time, quite fitting for the Zelda series, you'll notice also she is able to clone monsters. Now, this, of course, as you can see, there's a monster there. What's she going to do? Is she going to beat it? Yes, she is, by making a rock to defend herself.
Yes.
And then, of course, whacking it with a said rock. A good idea.
Yes.
But as I was saying there, you will also be able to clone monsters. Now, of course, this reminds us very much, if you'll look at this piece here, that reminds us of what she does in Super Smash Bros. With her down special move. She can summon a phantom to attack her foes. So very similar to that, we're seeing quite a clear reference there to both Ocarina of Time and indeed Link's Awakening Remake, Tears of the Kingdom, and now Smash Bros. So many different concepts being used in this trailer.
Yes, so bringing lots of elements in there, aren't they?
Yes, many different elements. Of course, using plants there to attack flying birds, rather clever. That appears to be, if you notice that there, fellows, that appears to be an escape sequence. So as Bertie says, will Zelda be going into the portal? It looks like she's trying to escape it.
Yeah, it looks like that's creeping towards her, so yes, obviously that's dangerous for the player.
Yes, it can be assumed that the portal is going to grow during gameplay, and maybe the objective is to save the world from this growing darkness portal. I'm not sure.
Could be, yes.
We're going through some sort of forest environment here, and there she's winding something up, and aha! It's a cannon on her head. Very clever. Very clever.
Yes, it is. There's going to be another, so she can presumably pick up weapons on the way.
Indeed.
Obviously now.
I presume so. Wait a minute. We just saw something else there, old chap. Now, Zelda in the background there is using something to attack these Hylian castle soldiers, who I presume are there to, perhaps as training dummies, I'm not sure. But we can see this character is moving extremely fast. Was that white hair I saw? Is that Impa or is it Sheik? I'm not sure. It could be Impa. Very possibly.
It could be, yes.
Of the Sheikah tribe. She's very, very fast, and she's taken out those soldiers without any problems. The question is, though, why is she taking out the soldiers in the first place?
Well, exactly. You'd think Zelda would do that, wouldn't you?
They do look fairly dead. I mean, I thought these soldiers were on her side, old chap. This doesn't make any sense.
Yes, there's something there we're not seeing, isn't it?
We see here, of course, a member of the Zora there. With,
yes.
Is that Princess Ruto in the background? I'm not sure. And, of course, a member of... I'm not sure the name for those, but these are, of course, chaps who appear in Link to the Past and I believe Link Between Worlds, if I'm not entirely mistaken. So an interesting blending of styles there with the Ocarina reference on the right-hand side.
Yes.
Then, of course, we have a Deku salesman here. Once again, a clear Ocarina reference there to that game. Many of those in there. And, of course, the Great Deku Tree, which has appeared in many Zelda games. Not just Ocarina, but also the Breath of the Wild saga as well.
Yes.
But where's the Master Sword? Did you notice? There's no Master Sword on that pedestal, and that'll be because Link is wielding that Master Sword wherever he is.
Yes, indeed, where he is. Presumably, she has to rescue him.
This is the presumption. Now, this is very interesting. We've seen a great many features in this trailer, a great many secrets, and perhaps things you wouldn't first notice on initial viewing there. She can clone cannons, she can clone spiky things. Did you see that one there? That one there is actually a Mario-style enemy. Once again, a reference to Link's Awakening. That, of course, had many Mario references in that game. There's so much going on in this trailer, fellas. I've hardly got time to breathe. My goodness me.
There's a lot in it, yes.
My word. Using beds there, those flying things to fly around. She's got all sorts of abilities there. She can set things on fire. There's so much you can do in this game. It's looking very exciting. But how about playing as Zelda, Bertie? My goodness.
Very interesting and first, a definite first, isn't it?
Well, almost a first. Certainly a first in recent times. Of course, a Switch Lite there coming out as well. This has been a very interesting review, fellows, of the secrets in the Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom trailer. We hope you enjoyed this. And let us know if you missed any, I say. And we look forward to seeing you once more in the next exciting outing. Until then.
Yes.